You know someone like this. They never directly say, "Prove you care about me," but somehow, you always end up proving it. They go quiet, and suddenly you feel responsible for fixing the mood. They reply colder than usual, and now you are reading the message 3 times, wondering what you did wrong. They bring up something from months ago, not because it matters right now, but because they want to see how much guilt still works on you. Sometimes they act like they do not need you, but the moment you stop chasing, they act hurt. And slowly, the relationship starts to change. It no longer feels like two people choosing each other naturally. It starts to feel like a test you are always trying not to fail. And the confusing part is, you may have already shown loyalty many times. You were there, you listened, you forgave, you stayed, you made effort, but somehow, it is still not enough. So the real question is not, why do they doubt me? The real question is, why do some people keep testing loyalty even after loyalty has already been shown? Because people who constantly test loyalty are usually not looking for facts. They are looking for emotional proof. They do not want simple reassurance. They want a reaction strong enough to quiet their own doubt. In their mind, loyalty is not proven when things are peaceful. Peace feels too easy. Anyone can be kind when nothing is wrong. Anyone can stay when there is no pressure. So they create pressure. They pull away and watch if you follow. They act upset and see if you apologize first. They make you feel replaceable and wait to see if you fight for your place. They bring up old wounds and watch whether you still care enough to explain yourself. To them, your reaction becomes the evidence. If you chase, it means you care. If you panic, it means they matter. If you over-explain, it means they still have emotional power. If you tolerate the test, it feels like loyalty. But here's the problem. When loyalty has to be tested again and again, trust never gets a chance to breathe. Because every test creates a new doubt. If you pass today, they feel safe for a moment. But then tomorrow, the mind asks, would they still stay if I pushed harder? Would they still care if I became colder? Would they still choose me if someone else gave them attention? And just like that, the next test appears. This pattern often begins when someone learns that care is unstable. Maybe attention was inconsistent. Maybe affection had to be earned. Maybe people were warm one day and distant the next. Maybe someone important left without warning. Maybe love was mixed with comparison, punishment, silence, or conditions. So later in life, they do not simply receive care. They inspect it. They scan for changes. They notice delayed replies. They notice shorter messages. They notice a different tone. They notice when your energy is slightly off. And even when nothing is wrong, their mind starts building a story. They are changing. They are losing interest. They do not care like before. They will leave once they see the difficult side of me. So instead of asking directly, they test indirectly. And this is where the behavior becomes confusing for everyone around them. Because on the surface, loyalty testing can look like control. It can look like pride. It can look like drama. It can look like someone who wants power over your emotions. But underneath, it is often fear wearing the mask of power. The person may act cold, confident, demanding, or hard to please. But inside, they may be trying to answer one simple question. Am I safe with this person? That is why the test gives temporary relief. If you chase, they feel wanted. If you explain yourself, they feel important. If you tolerate their mood, they feel secure. If you stay after being pushed away, they feel reassured. But the relief does not last. Because the real issue was never your reply, your tone, your timing, or that one situation. The real issue was the insecurity behind it. And insecurity is never fully satisfied by another test. But here's the part most people miss. People who keep testing loyalty often create the exact outcome they are afraid of. They are afraid of being abandoned, so they behave in ways that make people emotionally tired. They are afraid of being ignored, so they create conflict to force attention. They are afraid someone will stop caring, so they make caring feel exhausting. And eventually, the other person starts pulling away. Not because they were disloyal, but because being constantly examined starts to feel like being accused. Because after a while, you stop feeling loved. You start feeling monitored. You stop feeling trusted. You start feeling like every small move can be used as evidence against you. And that is the contradiction. The more someone tries to force proof of loyalty, the less natural loyalty feels. Real loyalty cannot grow in a courtroom. It grows where there is enough trust for people to be human without being punished for every small change in mood, tone, or availability. Most people misunderstand this behavior because they only see the surface. They say, this person just loves drama. And sometimes, yes, loyalty testing can become manipulative, especially when it uses guilt, silence, jealousy, comparison, or emotional pressure. But the deeper pattern is often this: they do not know how to trust calm connection. Peace feels suspicious. Consistency feels too quiet. Normal kindness feels uncertain. So they create intensity because intensity feels like proof. But intensity is not the same as loyalty. Someone chasing you does not always mean the relationship is strong. Someone arguing for hours does not always mean they care more. Someone constantly proving themselves does not mean the bond is healthy. Sometimes it just means the relationship has become unstable. So what do you do when someone keeps testing your loyalty? The answer is not to become cold. And it is not to keep proving yourself forever. The answer is to stop rewarding the test while still being clear about your care. You can care about someone without participating in every emotional exam. Instead of chasing every silence, over-explaining every misunderstanding, or proving your loyalty again and again, you respond with calm clarity. You make the pattern visible. You can say, "I care about you, but I do not want our connection to become a series of tests." Or, if something is bothering you, tell me directly. I do not want to guess through distance or conflict. This changes the dynamic because now you are not playing the game. You are naming the game. And if the person is truly looking for connection, direct honesty gives them a chance to meet you there. But if they keep testing, punishing, withdrawing, and creating pressure, even after you respond with patience, then you have to notice what the pattern is telling you. Because loyalty should be shown through consistency, not extracted through pressure. People who keep testing loyalty are often trying to feel safe, but safety cannot be built through constant testing. At some point, loyalty has to be trusted long enough to become real. Because when every moment becomes a test, even genuine people eventually stop feeling invited. They start feeling judged. And once you understand this pattern, you stop taking every test personally. You start asking a better question. Is this person looking for connection or control? If you've ever been made to prove your loyalty again and again, you're not alone. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it.